Hey, what is up guys? And today we're going to be taking a look at a drift car from Banggood. This is called the HSP 94103. It's a 1/10th scale drift car that is a 4-wheel drive running a 2.4 gigahertz transmission protocol for the controlling surfaces. Now, a couple things to take note of here. These top parts here do not come with it. I've been modifying it because we're going to be taking it out for a FPV run. Now, before doing that, let's talk about some of the specs and some of the things that you should kind of maybe possibly do mods to when using this. So let's get started. Now, first of all, it comes with a 2S nickel metal hydride battery rated for 2000 milliamps. They do provide the charger, and as you can tell here, it's not a standard sized battery connector. So what I have done instead is, if we take a look at the internals here, let's just pop this open. And if you're curious what camera is that, this is the Turbo Wing. It's a really nice little camera. It's a 25 milliwatt camera with a VTX built in, so it has everything just built in. I just put tape on there, and I'm powering it directly from the receiver side, which we'll see in a little bit here. So let's pop this open and let's take a look inside. Now, first things first, I really thought this was going to have a brushless motor, but actually it has a brushed motor with an ESC here, and you get your 2-channel receiver, or is it a 3-channel receiver? You get a 3-channel receiver. However, the controller cannot broadcast the 3rd channel, so you're basically stuck with a 2-channel receiver. Now, the way that I powered up the camera was through the 5-volt in the ground from the receiver here, so that's something to take note of here. Now, as you can tell here, I have replaced this to the T-type battery connectors here, or also called as a T-plug, because I want to install my lithium polymer batteries in this, because I think I get a lot better performance and a lot better drive time. However, something to also take note of here is that it does not have a protection circuit, or the ESC will not cut off at a specific voltage. I actually ran down a couple of my batteries down to 2.6 volts, which is really bad, and which you have to keep a constant eye on. Now, if you do use this, I highly recommend you add a low voltage buzzer alarm. I'll have a link to a couple down below. What you do is you insert the buzzer on this pad here while this is connected straight to the battery, and then when the battery gets too low, it starts buzzing. Then you know to come in, bring the car, and just stop, so you don't ruin your batteries. Now, here they're saying it's not recommended to use anything other than nickel metal hydride due to how the ESC and the motor handle voltage. Now, for the suspension system, it's really nice. It's every wheel has its own suspension, as you can tell here. It seems to be pretty good suspension. Now, and again, I have used this slightly outside, but it's not going to be able to go over some large bumps in the road, so take that into consideration. Also, the front, this is all foam here, so it does take an impact, so it can take a pretty nice impact without damaging anything or damaging it itself. So that's a huge plus. Also, as you can tell, the battery just finished charging and we're about to take it out. We'll do a little drift in the shop here before taking it out. Now, currently with the LiPo polymer battery, or the LiPo battery that I've replaced, I haven't tested to try to drift outside. Depending on the type of ground that you're drifting on. I mean, indoors it drifts beautifully, but outdoors it's not the case. It's just, you know, you can drive it. It's pretty quick. I would say it's around 30 kilometers per hour, possibly 40 kilometers per hour. I will bring a GPS in a part 2 video, and we'll do speed runs because I have a bunch of more RC cars which we could do speed runs on. Now, the turning radius is quite dramatic actually. This thing can turn pretty amazing distance, and you can control how much you want it to turn here and all these kinds of crazy cool things. So that's really nice. You're using a really nice big fat servo here. You have your ESC, your power and off button right here, and you have your connector from your ESC to your motor. And again, this is a brushed motor, and the brushed motor tends to act like a magnet, especially in the house or in the shop or whatever. It does tend to pick up some metal pieces on the bottom here, and this, I think this is metal. It's not plastic. I think it could be metal, coated metal, because I can feel the heat dissipate. So the bottom chassis here acts as a heat sink for the motor, because you can feel the heat dissipate throughout the whole body here, which I think is really good, since it doesn't have any kind of heatsink on the motor here to keep it overall cool. Now, the ESC does have a fan and a heatsink, which is nice to see here. Now, I don't know if this is waterproof, but I highly doubt it's waterproof, so take that into consideration also. And it doesn't come with any LEDs, so you won't be able to tell orientation from far away. Thus why I added an FPV camera, so we can actually take this out, record the DVR, and start driving around. Now, I've routed the positive and negative here, in which I will power up straight from the receiver, and later on we'll be adding a little pan and tilt servo so we can actually turn the camera right and left. But I will need to replace the receiver and the transmitter with something with at least 3 channels so I can control that. But currently we're going to be good with the DVR footage. We'll take it out for a drive. So enough talking. I'm going to stick it on the floor. We'll do a little drift in the shop, and then we're going to take it out and go for an FPV ride. Alright guys, so we're going to do our first drift here. We're just going to do a little bit. Now I'm not the best drifter in the world, but we'll just do a little before we taking it out and doing the FPV outdoors. It's a really quick little car here. It has a very good turning radius also. It's really nice indoors, but outdoors it's not going to be able to drift this good. At least with the nickel metal hydride one. After the lithium polymer mod that I just did, I still haven't tested it, so we'll see how well that'll perform. It's a challenge to practice the controls because it has such a great turning radius here. Yeah, I still can't get that down. I'm trying to always drift that whole two little legs right there from the table. I'm not even pushing full throttle. This is around, maybe I'm pushing around 75 to 80% right here when I'm doing that. Even less possibly, especially that right there. Like, I mean, here's a full throttle punch out right now. Let's see. Let's bring it closer to the camera. Yeah, there we go. There is no traction, and I think it's meant to be that way because this is supposed to be a drift car, and it is a four-wheel drive drift car. I wish I just had more room here to do this. It'd be a lot funner. So we're just gonna do just to get an idea of how it performs indoors before we go taking it out on the FPV cruise right now. It's very responsive though, I can tell you that right now. It's actually pretty amazing for a little brushed motor, which is pretty crazy. Now and again, brushed motors don't have the same lifespan as a brushless motor, so take that into consideration also. And you can get a brushless version for $50 more, which I'll show you towards the end of the video possibly, or it'll be the next video out. I haven't tested that one, but that one's almost impossible to, the brushless one, to drive indoors here. This one's very tameable and it still has a lot of power, which is really nice. And again, what's really cool about these is they take a lot of beating. So I mean, if you have nice skills, you can do some crazy things with this, I'm pretty sure. So I mean, when I'm wanting to drive the RC car in the shop, this is the one that I'm actually reaching out for, and that is the reason why I actually modded it. It's not that big, especially because I don't have that much room in here, and it takes a beating and it's performing really nicely. And I love the turning radius, which is really needed here in such tight areas. Okay. We're gonna try to hit that whole inner side, just like sideways. Let's try to do that real quick. Let's see if we can do that. Please don't fail. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Ready? Oh, that was nice. I wish I could say that was intentional, but that was all luck. Alright, so now just taking it out, and I found this little spot here in the city, and today is a Sunday basically, so it's kind of dead. There isn't that many cars, and it's a one-way street here. And I'm currently facing how the cars are coming, so I know if anything's coming towards my way. So I did have some fun here, but the area wasn't really that great. I wish I could find a better spot. But overall, it was pretty quick. I was keeping with cars. The speed limit here is around 40 kilometers per hour, and I don't know if I'm going to show you this or I recorded it, but I was kind of racing a car while I was on the sidewalk here. And it was going I guess the speed limit. So it's really nice in that perspective. However, I could not get it to drift outside, especially on this type of ground here. I don't know how it would do. I even doubt it would do it on asphalt. So maybe just some very slick sidewalks would do it, but this type of sidewalk wasn't really great for drifting at all. And yeah, just take that into consideration, even though with the lipo mod. So it's really just a cruiser outside. It's a pretty quick cruiser, and it gives you good amount of drive time, which I really liked also. And it was pretty fun. So as you can tell, there's a car, but I had to slow down because I saw a guy right there. And overall, yeah, I do highly recommend you add that extra battery voltage alarm, which tells you when the battery kind of drops down, so you keep an eye on that and not ruin your batteries here. But overall, it was really fun. I wish I had a better spot, but I will be looking for a better spot soon, and I'm going to be doing a little shootout with RC cars because I got quite a lot, so I'm going to be releasing a couple videos here and there for the RC cars that I've gotten. This is basically the slowest one out of the bunch, and it was still very enjoyable, especially for indoors. You know, for indoors, this is, I think, a really great performing car, but outdoors, just like I said, it's just a cruiser here, and I was just punching it back and forth. Yeah, and again, it's not going to be the best at climbing up pretty big jumps here. So, well, that's going to conclude it for this video, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys have any questions or any suggestions, feel free to let me know. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace out.